What it do, homies? We out here about to check out Silly Characters Who Are No Joke by Rad Chad. Let's go ahead and shut up, turn it up.
What does it mean to be funny? Being funny is as old as humanity itself. The first joke ever recorded was by the ancient Egyptians in hieroglyphics. A man with a crocodile head asks a man with a cat head what happened to the 100-pound pharaoh, to which the man with the cat head responded with a racial slur. This went on to inspire the funniest people on the internet. I know this may seem shocking to some of the newer generation, what with Marvel movies being so popular, but it is possible for characters in media to be funny. These characters are often called comic relief. They are funny guys or gals who do silly activities which entice you to either giggle or chuckle at the occurrences. For the audience, they are a light-hearted relief from serious McCuckface, the protagonist, and his rival, no-nonsense McBallnuts. As you can tell, I myself am a bit of a comic relief in your miserable life. Since these silly characters are there to contrast the more serious elements, they are commonly unimposing, weak, and in need of defending by the more epic main characters. This is probably one of the most common tropes in media, to the point where you don't bat a single eye at its inclusion. The comic relief is there as a bard for the main character, cracking jokes and singing his praises, but what if those we least suspect? Monkeys, look at this funny guy. Monkey funny. Do your monkey thing, monkey. Travis was an animal actor who appeared on television shows and commercials. Travis flew into a rage and attacked her. She would be disfigured beyond recognition. We're the ones we should be the most cautious of.
I heard about that.
If the quietest people shit the loudest, then it isn't so much of a logical leap that the loudest people shit the quietest. Well, look who is. I heard you the type to not like or subscribe to Rad Chad at
my bad, bro.
YouTube.com. It would be a damn shame if I had to do something to this Ralsy PNG, because someone didn't like and subscribe to Rad Chad on YouTube.com.
Please, not
I'm
the
sure
PNG.
Ralsy PNG will have a good, safe home to stay
no.
at if someone considered giving some money on the Patreon. If you want the Ralsy PNG to survive, you know what you need to do. Fucking fuck off.
What?
I created you, and you created me.
Spider-Man, kill him and his family.
The Spot. To be honest, I don't actually know much about this guy. This is the part where a weaker, inferior video essayist would do research on the character. However, I, a true Chad, can't be fucked. And also, these videos can barely be called video essays. The scripts are bullet points, and my source is a vision in my dreams. But I will justify my laziness with intelligence. The creators of Spider-Verse chose this Spot as their main villain because of two factors. The first one being his nicheness, the fact he's a pretty forgettable villain. So in this regard, we not knowing much about him, other than he is a villain in the Spider-Man universe, is enough. The second reason they chose the Spot is the fact that his power is actually terrifying. In Across the Spider-Verse, the Spot is represented as a hopeless character. We are introduced to him during his failed attempt at a robbery. Not only do characters downplay him like Miles Morales, but even the universe itself. His backstory entirely hinges on a background gag where he gets hit by a bagel. In the diegetic of the movie, he is as ignored as his comic counterpart is by general audiences. His design even looks dopey, sporting an unflattering physique. But even then, you may notice in his first fight with Miles that he holds up surprisingly well.
Yeah, this dude would have made an amazing sponsor for Gateway back in the computers when it was come out, the whole thing, the cow prints and everything. Yeah, about Spot, I've seen this movie, and it kind of just seems like he was kind of just threw in, or at least that's my memory of it. I need to check it again, but it didn't seem like he played a really, really big, super huge issue with that. It seemed like really the kind of anti-hero or the real true protagonist might have been Spider 99 because of what he was trying to stop Morale. Oh my goodness, trying to stop him from what he was doing and everything. But I didn't really get villain vibes from Spot.
This is seemingly the first fight he's in. He's completely improvising it, and
Miles.
he even hits himself with his own attacks. But despite being a dweeb nerd with no fighting capabilities and no mastery of his power, he comes toe-to-toe with Miles for a concerningly long amount of time. This downplaying continues for a while, where the characters see the Spot more as a nuisance than a threat. You see, the Spot in Spider-Verse is treated like a joke, so that both you and the characters underestimate him. The only reason the main characters haven't lost yet is because the Spot as a person is a joke. But even if you hand the most incompetent person a gun, when they learn to aim and shoot, they become deadly. Eventually the Spot does get an understanding of his power and single-handedly takes on 4 spider people at once. And by the time he attains his full potential, he's been so ignored and downplayed that his ire manifests as a malformed creature bent on causing as much havoc as possible. The Spot perfectly represents how you can subvert a joke character. Underestimation.
I mean, it did a good job.
You got bamboozled.
Murang is my main in Apex Legends, meaning, sorry,
Right.
you're not allowed to play him. Mirage is the class clown of Apex Legends, wise in cracks
Isn't sneaky your specialty?
and generally being a silly boy.
I don't play Apex.
Due to his showman-like personality, he's practically become the poster boy of Apex. He seems like an overconfident jackass who constantly gloats about how he's the best, yet he constantly has this awkward air about him, where it feels like he's forcing it. This character trope falls pretty firmly with the overconfident loser, someone who wants everyone else to believe they're great, when they themselves don't believe it. Usually depicted as narcissists. You wouldn't be blamed for painting Mirage in this light, as he literally creates clones of himself, which he admires and uses to toy with his opponents.
You know, the thing about video games and their overconfident characters is at the end of the day, you know, it's their personality, but, you know, I feel like it just boils down to the player. You know what I mean? I guess personality, you know, story behind it definitely can play a part in some people choosing who to play, right? Do a lot of you guys who play Apex your mains? Are they your main because of their personality? Or are they main because of what they can do or what you can do with it in your hands? Now I get that's kind of going away from, you know, we're no joke. And I just wondered just how much of that, like, why does it matter? Like what their personality is? If you just block all that out, if he's got good abilities, you're going to play him regardless of what his personality is. But I know for the sake of the video, right, he's a silly character who's probably good, but I just found that interesting.
And while this is true, he's showy, he's overconfident, yet deep down he's a loser, the reason he's like this isn't because he has an ego. His hologram technology was created by his mother. The entire reason he can compete is because of her. His mother has dementia. Her association between Mirage as a person and her son are fading rapidly. Mirage's participation in the games are as a thank you to his mother, to show how far it's gotten him, but it's also for her to notice him. She's referenced that she follows Mirage's endeavors in the Apex games.
He's celebrating his 2nd anniversary of competing in the games.
So, to get his mother to notice him, despite her deteriorating mind, he tries to have the biggest personality possible. He tries to be as memorable as possible. He wants his mother to see him. Even in moments where he tries to have a heart-to-heart with her, he has to fall back on being his big personality so she can remember him.
Yeah, that's right, Mom.
One sec.
Yeah, I'm your son. Elliot.
We are inside the next room.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry. I'll win for you today. Always for my #1 fan.
He's not a confident person. He's even somewhat incompetent. His boisterousness, his loudness, it can get on those around him's nerves. But he isn't like this for them. He isn't like this for the audience. He just wants to be noticed by his dying mother. Mirage perfectly represents how you can subvert the comic relief character trope. Intention. Instantly, your rotted brain played a million memes and one named Echo in your mind. There is a phenomenon where when something gets very popular, some people are like, yeah, I would like it, but so many people on the internet talk about it, so I won't. My usual response to this sentiment,
You know, the interesting thing about that is that I've had that same effect on me with movies like Anchorman, because everybody kept talking about it. And I feel like if I didn't hear so much about it, that I would have went in with greater expectations. You know what I mean? So it's interesting how that works. Not so much like video games. I've never played Undertale, right? Yeah, I've never played it, but I am familiar, or at least a little bit, who Sans is.
the police won't find your body. However, this may be one of the only cases where the internet has completely destroyed an otherwise amazing character. You see, your perspective on this funny boned boy is completely warped. It is not at all what he's actually like. So before we can discuss, let us take a moment to sit and meditate, completely wash away all your cognitions of Sans Undertale. There are no AUs.
Done.
The Sans parody song is not real, it was just from Steven Universe. Rule 34 does not exist. There.
Oh no.
It's all out? Hey! I see that one. Trying to sneak one by me, you
Bro, that wasn't even in my mind for you to, okay.
There. It's all out? Hey! I see that one. Trying to sneak one by me, you sexy son of a bitch. Now, Sans, brother of Papyrus. Sans, throughout most people's playthroughs of Undertale, is just a funny guy, a positively silly goober. While Papyrus is mostly accidentally funny while trying to be serious, Sans plays jokes, says one-liners, and gets up to all kinds of funny hijinks. He is quite an endearing character, but over the course of the game, he has small serious moments with you. Your dynamic with Sans is perfectly demonstrated in his first scene. He stalks you through a forest, slowly closing in. Anxiety races. Then finally, he confronts you. Oh, you silly guy. Oh, you silly spoon.
I thought he
Why
uploaded.
is there this dichotomy of goober
I thought
and
he had the
IP
blicky.
address in regards to Sans? What the internet may have taught you is that Sans is actually a deeply sad and edgy character who's punished and has to hold in the pain and cries when he's alone. No, stop it. You have been brainwashed. In Undertale, the act of saving and reloading is canon. Only a select few characters understand this. These include Flowey, Kara, and Sans. Sans fully understands you have the power to reload whenever you want, which means he knows you are the most dangerous creature to ever enter the underground. You have the power to save everyone or destroy them. And Sans doesn't want you to kill everyone because those are his buddies. So how does Sans achieve this goal to stop you on doing a murderous rampage? Manipulation. He sets out to manipulate you as a player. His strongest tools were never his bones, lasers, or bad puns. It was his ability to manipulate you as a player, telling you jokes and highlighting the silliness of other characters to endear you to the world of Undertale, and he does a damn good job of it. He plays the comic relief role amazingly. He wants you to feel bad for hurting any of the denizens of Undertale, which goes into what he does next, Judgment. There is a very famous scene in the Halls of Judgment where he does a judgment. For every level of violence you gain, for every execution point, he judges you. But this isn't the only time he judges you. The next is right after you finish a normal playthrough, where he lets you know how the underground is doing after you left it in ruin. At first it may seem he's doing this because he's your good friend catching up with you despite your hiccups. But the real reason is he knows you can reset. He manipulates you with judgment, showing that you've left the world imperfect, enticing you to try again. And you know what? Most players do. Usually Sans wins. You save the underground, let them all live happily, and put down the game. Sans in these playthroughs doesn't have any animosity towards you, but there's still a chance. You might try again, and out of curiosity, kill everyone. He picks up too late to your state of mind in your next playthrough, just barely getting in a threat of his intentions to stop you by any means necessary.
Oh wow. Wow, that's some good writing. Okay. Wow.
Just before you murder his brother, he tries to look for any final bit of goodness in you, for any reason to turn you away from this path, scrambling for a singular excuse. If you accidentally leave one enemy alive, if you take an extra turn to kill Minotaur, that'll be enough. He still wants to spare you. He wants you to feel disappointment, and that this path meant nothing. Catch you on a technicality, so you get frustrated and don't try this again. Because then his brother might be able to live happily again. But as you approach him, with hands covered in the dust of countless monsters, wielding a knife that could kill Sans in one go, Sans' final struggle begins. You see, despite the notoriety of this fight as being the hardest in Undertale, in the canon of the universe, Sans is at a severe disadvantage. You can try it as many times as you please, all it takes is one hit to kill Sans. And Sans fully knows this, but then why does he fight? Because he's trying to hit you in the one thing you've been told to rely on. Your determination. He wants to kill you, shit talk you, whittle you down with frustration or boredom until you throw up your hands and reset or leave. What I dislike about the internet's portrayal of this fight
sounds like
how
Elden
it shows
Ring.
it as this badass or terrifying moment. This fight isn't him using overwhelming power, it's him trying to manipulate you. The mockery after you die, the trolling, the unfairness of the fight. Sans is not a badass. He isn't a scary monster in the darkness. He's a comedian and a manipulator. At the end of the fight, he just takes his turn for the rest of time, never giving you the opportunity to attack. The only thing that makes him lose is him sleeping. After everything he's tried, after shouldering the burden of manipulating a near god of this world, even he, the man who would fight to the bitter end, would get tired. I think deep down he knows that this ends in Kara's control. That even if a pacifist route is achieved, Kara will still cause untold suffering. On your save, there will be no happy world to strive for. Worst part is, on a reset, the new Sans won't even know that his attempts at manipulating you will be for naught. With his final breath, he doesn't curse you, he doesn't cry. There's no use in wasting it on that after all. It's over. He just heads to his favorite bar and talks to his brother one last time. Sans perfectly represents how you can subvert the comic relief character trope.
Jeez.
Manipulation.
That was very well
The
done.
funny guy, the one we haha at, the one who we go, what a kooky and silly character that ensues the greatest of hilarities. Yet because you, the fool, the absolute buffoon, were too busy giggling, you couldn't see what hides beneath the silly. You may initially write off a goofy lad, since how threatening could a chuckle-inducing creature be? And when you look down on them, the animosity in them builds up. You may be pretty girl now and me nerd, but in the future me going to be rich man
Classic
and
me.
you pregnant. The silly guy may be silly, not for the sake of silly, but for personal turmoils. Either to hide their pain through snickers, or to be noticed by those they hold dear. The silly bloke may even be using the giggles to get you to do what they want. After all, when you're in a good mood, you're a much more susceptible target. You don't sell snake oil without a good
That
routine.
is-
All of this
that's a
is
deep
to
hole
say,
to talk
be
about right there.
careful of silly guys, because they may be no joke. If only you had listened to this advice sooner. Greetings. I am Rad Chad, the mad lad, and to some of you, your dad. And I've caused a gas leak in the room you're in. You underestimated me, you absolute buffoon. You tomfool. You have hallucinated this entire video. It never happened. You are going crazy. That was not a plate of pasta you ate. That was a monkey, silly monkey.
Chipotle, hopefully.
Look at the monkey go. He go, ooh, ah, ah. Oh, monkey. Yes, monkey. Woo! Yeah, monkey. Fuck it, monkey. Woo!
You know, these-
Holy shit, that monkey's fucking crazy. What the fuck?
You know what's interesting about what he's doing here is that these random tidbits of funky videos and everything. It's almost as if he has something underneath his comic relief, right? That maybe he was trying to teach us to figure out about as we were watching this video. Hey, I didn't realize Undertale or that game was that deep. I probably got to go look through a playthrough or something so I can finally look at that video, because it was crazy back then. It's even crazier now. But anyways, if you guys want me to do some more Rad Chat, see if we can get this video to like 300 likes. See you in this video. Dave's out.